Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So there's a college called Lake Superior State. Actually, they have a really good hockey team over in Michigan. And every year they put this out, and it gets a level of importance where they release their top 10 banished words for 2025. So these are words that everybody, society, through their research, enough. Okay, stop using these words. Let them go away, and let's move into 2025 in a different direction. So that makes sense. If there's a word you're thinking of at the top of your head that people overuse or use too much, you just don't want to hear anymore, text that word to 312-591-8300, so we'll add it to the list here. But let's get right into it. So Lake Superior State's first word is the word cringe. Cringe. And they say, while cringe once packed a punch, it's now overstayed its welcome. And I kind of agree, like,
do you feel like it's a person who's been called that? That's like, that word's really out.
That's right.
You should stop saying that.
To be honest, I'll do something. People say like cringe. I'm like, what? I'm playing basketball or I'm playing guitar or whatever. Like, you know
what? Both those things made me wince.
Yeah. But, if you're going to live your life calling things cringe, get off the planet right now. We can all just live our lives and do whatever we want.
Get off the planet.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't even know how you would do it. You better find a rocket ship.
That's right. There's plenty of options.
Get on it. Schedule that launch.
SpaceX. You got a lot of ways to get off the planet.
Heavens.
I'm done with that word. I agree. Cringe. Do you like it still or no, Kenzie?
I think it applies sometimes, unfortunately. Like, ugh.
Well, I'd rather you do that. Ugh.
That's what I'm doing, though. That's me cringing. But I can't. How am I supposed to type that?
No, spell it out for me.
I think it's like A-U.
Wow, I thought it started with a U.
No, I think it's A-U.
I just think it's really easy to sit back in your chair and call everything cringe that comes across your timeline just to the hell of it. I just think it's abuse. Case, what do you think?
It's not the word I've ever used. I've used the word chuggy at times, which means the same thing as cringe, but it's a little bit younger version of that.
Chuggy?
Chuggy.
I love the word chuggy.
Yeah. Like, Brian, if you showed up in camo shorts and started talking about how awesome the video game Halo is, that would be chuggy behavior.
I would totally love to show up in a juicy sweatsuit, be chuggy AF.
I'll tell you what.
Sometimes I like chugs.
If you showed up in a juicy sweatsuit, I would never say that's cringe.
Because it's not. It's just chuggy, which is kind of adorable sometimes.
Wait, is chuggy good or bad?
Like, some people are like, they want to be chuggy sometimes. It's fine. It's like, F you, I love juicy sweatsuits. I'm going to be chuggy. Cringe is always bad, where chuggy can be delightful, I feel.
Chuggy sounds like the stuff that's inside a Three Musketeers bar.
That's nougat.
Chuggy.
By the way, Kenzie, before we move on real quick, can you make the sound of your cringe sound one more time? Somebody on the text line 708 said, now you sound like the grape lady who fell.
She was like, ow, 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 ow. Something like that. All right. Here we go. Let's go. Next word over for 2024 is a game changer. Because people always say, like, oh, that's a game changer. You're overusing it on things that aren't game changing.
I wish that word wasn't in my life anymore, because it's actually the app you have to use to track kids' baseball. So I also hate it, but for different reasons.
That app's awesome, though.
It's the worst app ever.
Wait. The app is called Game Changer?
And you can track, like, even other teams.
Yeah.
And I just watch a bunch of adult males track 10-year-olds playing baseball in different cities. And I'm like, how about, like, we fix things in the house? I don't know. Like,
well, that sounds personal.
I just feel like there's, like, better things we could do with our time than be like, guess what this 10-year-old did? I don't care.
Oh.
I suck at baseball, and I could probably beat most 10-year-olds at it. Like, just focus on other things.
We're all at the same level. I thought of Kramer all of a sudden in Seinfeld when he was taking karate lessons and kicking all those kids' asses. Kenzie's out there on a Little League baseball diamond.
She plows the catcher like she's Pete Rose.
Finally, a place I can shine athletically.
I was going to use A.J. Przinsky, but Pete Rose is good, too.
No, that works.
Another word they're saying is banished now is era. Obviously, last couple of years, I should say, with Taylor Swift's Era Tour, people started using I'm in my blank era. Like I'm in my pottery making era.
That was the weirdest example of that ever.
Who do you know that's doing pottery right now, Brian?
Oh, been doing pottery for this era. This much time. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, that's fine. That one can go. Dropped? So, again, this was apparently, I never used, like, dropped as a word. They're saying, basically, it was a trend on a product, like books, music, and all kinds of unnecessary things that are currently being dropped rather than introduced, released, or offered for sale.
Oh, like they dropped their new products?
I get.
Why is that-
I got it. Like, yeah, the album's dropping. Okay, I got it.
There we go. Caught you up.
Yeah, got it.
That was
Got
very
it.
cringe you didn't know that, Brian.
I guess so.
It reminded me of like last week though. He's like, "What is DROPPED?" He thinks everything's an acronym.
Yeah.
I'm like, "You're spelling words."
I guess I'm in my dropped era. Just figured that out. This is not fair because it's a word, but it's also more than one word. IYKYK. If you know, you know.
Oh yeah, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. So people putting that and texting that back for certain reasons, whatever. I don't know. It's still okay, I think.
I don't know. I saw a license plate that said that yesterday. Very off-putting to me for some reason.
Well, then you're like, "Well, I obviously don't know.
Yeah, I don't
what's
know.
happening in that car."
Also, this is also a phrase, so I don't know why they include it, but sorry, not sorry. To say sorry, not sorry. Half-hearted apology masquerading as bold honesty. This phrase feels as disingenuous as it sounds. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. You're rich and your house is burning down in LA. That's whatever. I'm like, oh my God, you guys.
Yeah, have some compassion.
Relax.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry.
Mean.
Very mean. This is one I don't know.
God, what are you about to spell?
This one also might need Skibidi. Is that what it is? Skibidi? Am I wrong on that? Skibidi. Sky. Am I doing it wrong? Obviously. So Skibidi. What the hell is it? What the hell is it?
Skibidi. It's Skibidi.
Skibidi. What did I say? Skibidi. Skibidi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skibidi.
What the hell does that mean?
Like it's Skibidi, right? And it's like you could do cool, bad, like dumb. It also could be used as like a curse word, like, and it has a bunch of it.
Well,
people do Skibidi toilet.
Yeah, they're using it as a Skibidi toilet or a Skibidi fizz or Skibidi. It's
Skibidi Riz. Did you say Skibidi?
Wait, is it Skibidi or Skibidi?
It's Skibidi.
Skibidi. So it means something's cool?
It depends how you use it.
Well, I'm not using it right.
I know.
Do you want me to read the Urban Dictionary definition for you,
What
Brian?
does Urban say?
Go ahead. What's urban say? What's the urban population say about this word?
Skibidi is a word usually started to start a conversation, specifically a conversation filled with brain rot. So it's a meaningless word.
That's what I'm saying. But people throw it in on, like, you can attach it to a lot of stuff, like negative,
Yeah.
like.
I think it can go. I think that one can go.
Obviously, it's literally described as a brain rot word. It could probably go.
All right, so we're reading the list of words from Lake Superior State University, released their top 10 banished words of 2025, just things that can go away forever. And 100%, just the phrase 100%. I use that a lot. People say something like, so yeah, we go over there, 100%, let's go do this. I say it's just it's a place setting for instead of you saying something you really want to say.
The worst is when somebody goes above 100% because it's impossible. And then, like, where does it end? 110%, I'm in. Well, why not 150, you lazy effer? Like, I hate that. There's nothing more than 100%. And it drives me nuts because, like, now you're doing more because you're 210%, I'm in. What?
Yeah. You're so lazy at 110%, Kenzie.
It just drives me nuts. Just
Yeah.
pick a percentage on the scale of 1 to 100.
Couple more words. Utilize.
I don't think that's bad.
I don't know a ton of people using that word.
Yeah, I don't understand that one at all. They say it's an
Now
offender.
you're just canceling real words out of our dictionary.
Yeah, machines. I don't know. Utilize. I don't get that one. And then finally, this is one that Kenzie uses now and then. Period.
Period.
Kenzie loves that word.
Period.
So that has been overused apparently. And to be honest, I don't know anybody else that says it but you. So it's not overused in my eyes.
There you go.
It's like your brand to me. Like,
Okay.
period.
Oh,
No. Wait.
Let's not get carried away here.
Wait, what's the cringe sound again? And then what's the Wait, what's the period sound again?
Wait, no, period is different.
I know, but when I said period, you went,
Oh, like that?
how do you spell that?
Okay, you are.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, 10 banished words of 2025. Stop using them, for God's sakes. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We just gave you the words banished for 2025 by Lake Superior State University. Words like cringe, game changer, era. These were in their top 10. And you guys texted in a whole bunch of words as well. Case on the text line, I don't know what one you saw that stood out to you.
Well, 331 said they want to get rid of the word ick, or rather the phrase the ick. Mm-hmm. And I disagree. I think we actually as a society came up with the perfect word for that situation, which typically is used when you're maybe early on in a romantic relationship. They do something that completely kills the vibes for you. I like the ick. That perfectly sums up that experience.
Yeah, I don't think it's overused and should be done. Maybe not yet.
I think that, once again, somebody was probably just told that they gave the ick. Like, this word should be gone.
224 checked in Vince, and this is a phrase because a couple of them were phrases. And Vince says, "That's a you problem." Now,
That's funny, though.
that one's mine. I'm not getting rid of that one. I say that a lot.
When that hits, that really hits.
There's no comeback to that. When someone says that about you, that's a you problem. Like, ugh.
But, like, sometimes it's not. It's like, well, actually, you just cheated on me. At a minimum, it's an us problem. At a bare minimum.
If it's used in cheating, it's inaccurate. Probably.
630 texted in and goes, blank, like, insert goes insane. You know, when somebody's describing something like, the sandwich goes insane. This new sandwich. I like that's funny.
I like that one still.
Hey.
You're just picking up lingo from this conversation that you're going to use.
Yeah, I like
He's
this.
like, I don't use these enough.
I went home and ate this protein bar went insane.
What about 224? They checked in. They said that the word lit is being overused. That lit is a problem to me. That sounds like a guy who goes to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch UFC pay-per-views and gets really, really excited about it. He's like, oh man, tonight's going to be lit. Tonight's going to be a movie.
I remember I used lit in 2017 and someone told me it was over.
So imagine in 2025.
But I think it's come back. I like lit still. I still like, yeah, that's lit.
What's the last thing you described as lit?
His protein bars.
Yeah, and it went insane too.
The little basketball court that I take Harper to, the indoor place, Fit City Kids. I go there. That place is lit, man. Got good
You said
hoops.
describe a place full of children?
Yeah.
Not
They,
good.
Because they have
What are you, R.
different.
Kelly?
They have different levels of basketball hoops all the way through. So I like that. It's lit.
that
I
That
sounds
you can
lit.
dunk on because it's for kids.
yeah. So a lot of people checked in with that's fire. I still like fire. I still like saying that. That's fire.
You like all of these.
The people are checking in on the ones like. What about you, Kenzie? Is there a word you don't want to hear anymore?
You know what word? At a minimum, it needs to be brought down. It doesn't have to go away. But when I scroll TikTok, it is the start of almost every video. And it's someone going, I'm obsessed with blank.
Ah.
I'm obsessed with his lip liner. I am obsessed with my sweater. I am obsessed with
God.
my dog's new toy. And it's like, I don't think you understand what obsession is. Like, and it's just, if as an influencer, because that's a job and you have to brand products, just find another word sometimes. Because at the beginning of all of your TikToks as an influencer is, I'm obsessed with blank. And it's a fine word, but let's start using it more appropriately.
Let's get obsessed with a different word.
Well, like you're obsessed every day with 17 things.
They're in their obsession era. You can't blame them.
I am literally obsessed with my new tea. I'm like, but you just stop.
You just hit another one, literally.
I'm literally.
Literally.
The point is, you're not literally obsessed. Like, you do not have an obsession of where this lipstick lives in your mind rent-free and you can't live a normal life. So it's not true. It's literally not happening.
Maybe it's good that TikTok's going away Sunday.
Use another word.
Case, what about you?
I am intrigued by this one. I'm going to read this one from the text line just because it just came in and I can't stop thinking about it. 219 said their wife still uses the bomb. If you're using the bomb, you got to move on. It's like The Sopranos. It's over.
Yeah, but if my wife came in and said, you know what we're doing tonight? We're gonna have some sex. It's gonna be the bomb. That's good.
Tell me when that happens, Brian.
Never. That's why it'd be good.
Happened Friday night, but I ate a pizza and fell asleep. Didn't work out so
what
well.
happened?
So a word that I for sure absolutely has to go
What
away.
happened Friday night? You ate a pizza and fell asleep, so you didn't read books?
We don't need to talk about that.
Okay, interesting. You cheated on a couple things on Friday.
We don't need to talk about that. But there's certainly one word I think that we can all agree needs to go away forever, 2025. The word present. Not gift, like a gift
I
present.
think I love presents.
I know you like present. No, I think we all just need to be a little more present. And then for our journey to continue.
Sounds like somebody's had to go to couples therapy.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for some entertainment and music news. Well, obviously on everybody's mind is the thoughts for people in Los Angeles as all these homes just continue to burn over the weekend. The latest update is they did make some progress, but the death toll rose to 24 people, thousands and thousands of structures destroyed, and it will be the most costly fire, obviously, in the history of the United States, probably approaching close to $200 billion. Right now, when you hear things of celebrities giving $1 million, it's like, that's awesome, that's great, but it's going to be in the billions. As we need the billionaires to step up. I'm not trying to count somebody else's money, but there are some billionaires out there and say, hey, someone's got like 200 bill, maybe a tech person, throw a bill in.
Okay.
But at the same time, I want to know where that money's going. You just don't throw money blindly at problems. It's got to be somehow worked out. But there's also no exact proof. I thought they did catch somebody trying to start a fire on one of the other hills. The neighbors came in and zip-tied the guy that was trying to start a fire behind his house because wackos and scumbags, all of a sudden they see this going on, they want to keep it going somehow. So there's been a lot of people arrested on suspicion of arson, but they're not saying.
I'm sure they're joining in on it, which is like insane.
Insane. Some other things that have happened, like for example, every day you hear about more houses that are gone from people that we love.
So sad.
The guitar player of Primus lost his house just the other day.
And I want to point out, like, there's obviously these really, really wealthy billionaires and things like that, but some of these people, you might have like, oh, their net worth is $3 million. Well, guess what? When a $2 million house burns down,
not much left.
Because net worth isn't money in the bank. That's like your asset. So if your car's gone and the house is gone and all these things, they don't have enough money to rebuild that. And then a lot of actors, when they're like, I'm not obviously if you're Jennifer Aniston, these A-listers getting booked for everything, they get the huge paychecks. But a lot of actors have come out and been like, I'm not even getting like millions for movie. I'm getting a couple $100,000, which that sounds like a lot of money, but not if it takes over another year and a half to book your next gig and you're living in a very expensive area where you're supposed to go to expensive things. So it's like, obviously, like, that's why I live in the suburbs, because the house that I have, I could never afford downtown. So it's a kind of, I never in a million years.
No, that's why I'm renting in the city, because I can't afford any houses in the city.
I would have to have a lot of money that I don't have to make that happen. So it's something to keep in mind that not just because somebody's in a TV show, they're not rich. Like we just did that SNL story not that long ago where they're making like $60,000 a season.
Yeah.
You're not rich. That in New York?
You're essentially a freelancer a lot of ways. And of course, we know the people that have like millions and 100 million, whatever.
There are the super iconic, again, your A-listers, which are a different story. But a lot of people who are just popular and in shows here and there, they're not like this incredibly rich person to the point where if they lost their home and their car and all that, they could just go buy it and replace it. That's not true.
And plus with all that insurance that was canceled beforehand, if you lost a $20 million house, they're probably not getting $20 million. So there's a lot to care about the people. For example, all stuff in Hollywood has been halted now. So like award shows, premieres, and production of shows, which I don't know how it's going to affect shows you love in a very minor problem, white people problems that they might say, my show's not going to be on. But
I think you mean first world problems, not white people problems.
White people, first world, whatever.
Okay.
But at the same time, that some of the things, it's a very small problem to have, but there might be this big gap of like no new shows, no new stuff continuing for a while.
We know that because the writer's strike wasn't that long ago when you felt that gap, and you're definitely going to feel it again.
Snoop Dogg turned his Inglewood clothing store into a donation center.
Oh,
and so a lot of celebrities that made it out and have some stuff, they're donating. Halle Berry is donating her entire closet. So all her, which must be a pretty big closet. So all her clothes, the people that just don't have clothes, everything burned up.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't understand how she was going to do it. I didn't know what that meant.
Just a closet to live in?
Yeah, you can come stay. I'm like, well, it's probably big. I know that Beyonce's like Be Good, like Be Good Foundation donated a ton of money. And it was funny because when I read it, I'm like, she has a makeup line, like the word foundation. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, it's just her foundation.
Also, Chuck D is asking people to stop using Public Enemy's Burn, Hollywood Burn in videos of the LA fires. That's not what the song was about in that situation.
No.
On some lighter news that also relates to Hollywood, because these sequels are already done. Sequels coming out in 2025. There's sequels to Karate Kid, Legends, and Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan, May 30th. So Ralph Macchio is going to be in this version. He hasn't been in the sequels for a long time. 28 years later, I'm trying to remember the order here. It was 28 days later, and then the second movie was, What was the second movie? Damn it. 28 Days Later is an incredible. You'd like this because you like horror zombie type movies.
More days?
No, it's like 28 days later. 28 weeks later.
Okay.
So there was 28 Days Later. Incredible.
Yeah.
The actor that was in Oppenheimer and also in Batman, he was the lead actor in that.
Okay.
So then there was 28 weeks later. So 28 years later comes out June 20th.
Good heavens. It is like 28 years later. It took so long.
I can't wait. I love that series. And the whole movie apparently was filmed on an iPhone 16.
You're lying.
All the video of the movie was made on an iPhone 16 and then, of course, edited post. But still.
What?
Isn't that insane?
Ugh, my iPhone 12 sucks.
I have an 11.
They suck. It always looks like there's a hairspray on the camera.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And we had the weigh-ins about, hour and a half ago, somewhere in there. 7:50 every morning, Monday morning, we do the weigh-ins of our weight competition for 2025, trying to lose some weight. And one of the things Case, the producer, said was that his resolution in an effort to lose more weight was eat more soup.
I don't even know if it was to lose weight. I've been on this planet 25 years. For 25 of those years, I've been under the mentality of, you know what, not a soup guy, not the food for me. And then I was in the store 2 weeks ago. They had a particular Campbell's soup that looked very good. I had it. Turns out I love soup. So in 2025, I'd like to have more soup.
What a revelation.
I know.
Soup is the best. And this is the soup time of year. I'm always a souper. Like, I have soup in the summer, I'm like a weirdo. But it could be like 800 degrees out. And I'm like, give me a little bowl of soup. But this is particularly the time of year where it really shines.
Shocker, soup is not seasonal.
I know. Well, some people feel that way. Some people don't want soup in the summer. I do.
Those are people you don't want in your life. That think soup is seasonal.
Now, here's the thing. Whether you think soup is seasonal or not is irrelevant because January, and I think we all agree we're living in January, is National Soup Month.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
We're cold. We're inside. Which Brian thinks means you have to order pizza, but you could also have soup.
I like soup with pizza as a starter. That's good.
Pizza soup.
You ever dunk your pizza slice in soup?
No, because I'm new to soup. I've never had the opportunity to do that.
So what's awesome is Let Us Entertain You restaurants, the Let Us Entertain You group here in Chicago, some of the best restaurants in the world. Summer House Lincoln Park, the executive chef, Ben Goodnick, heard that Case wants to eat more soup. Is that how it happened, this phone call? What happened?
This is true. So we have a friend, Mel, over at Let Us Entertain You. And she sent me an email last week. We're trying to line up a few different things for the show. Let Us Entertain You. I've been such great partners with Q101. She starts out this email. She goes, Case, I don't know if you know this, but it's National Soup Month. And she got my attention with that. And I responded back to her. I go, I don't know if you know this, but in 2025, I'm going to have more soup. And thus, soup was delivered today to the Q101 studios.
A beautiful relationship
I
again.
would just like to say, I really want to wear more Chanel this year.
I don't have an email there.
I just throwing it into the universe. It's one of my goals.
You know, I could use some more guitars. If anybody's,
That's one of my goals this year.
happen to be listening out there, things that, it would be nice to just show up on a door. But for now, it's just Case wishing for more soup, and it arrived.
I've had a good year.
I will tell you that Summer House in Lincoln Park is unbelievable. That restaurant at 1954 North Halstead, the food and the environment, everything about it is a unique experience. So I know they're known also for the cookies. They have a whole bakery right when you walk in. The cookies are ridiculous.
Yeah, well, they brought some cookies in, and Brian, mid-diet, ignored the 15 soups they brought in. Are those cookies in the back? I don't even know how you saw them.
Well, one of them's really good for me. The prime beef chili for my protein diet, that's perfect. They have lobster bisque, of course, lentil
Such
soup.
an a-hole. The one that has prime steak in it, I'll have that one for my diet.
Yeah, you guys can fight over the rest.
The chicken noodle.
The old-fashioned chicken noodle, the herb tomato cream.
They brought lobster bisque.
That's so good.
I know.
Think of all the lobsters that
Case,
went
have
into
you
that.
ever had a bisque even? Of any sorts?
No.
Oh my God.
I only know bisque from Elaine on Seinfeld when she goes, I mentioned the bisque. It's the only knowledge I have of it.
The quote is, you yada-yada'd over the best part.
Yeah.
I mentioned the bisque.
Yeah, fantastic. Cut to commercial break, baby.
Well, thanks so much for Let Us Entertain You and for Summer House Lincoln Park for bringing us by. In case we'll have a nice little video up soon about soup.
A case for soup.
A case for soup. It'd be amazing. Double Features wrote a song about Case wanting more soup in 2025.
Okay, soup jingle ideas with the double features. Take One featuring David Lee Broth.
Soup's in the ladle and I fill up my spoon.
All right, guys. How about a different track? Let's try Take Two featuring Limp Bizkit.
I want a soup, baby. Soup-a-doop.
Nope, that's not the one. Maybe we lay down a track with Gazpacho Malone.
Soup, I ate it again. I'll take some beef barley. This chowder's insane. Oh, baby.
Yeah, let's just scrap this whole thing. We'll call it Soup There It Is, and we can all get the pho out of here.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Ironic to play that song before we get to sports on what happened over the weekend. Not so lucky with my bets. Hopefully you were.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, super wild card weekend happened over the weekend. And I talked earlier about I had a parlay with all 6 games, including the final one tonight, to win, let's see, on a $5 bet. I think it would have paid out like $271. And I took the Chargers. Me and Case talked extensively after the show on Friday about the Texans, this might be their time to come back, but yet the Chargers are pretty good. Got Harbaugh there. They've won games they shouldn't have won. I took the Chargers, and they lose, so the parlay was gone day one, which is so demoralizing.
I feel like you're going to cry.
I really am upset because I'd really rather have, at least a couple legs of the parlay active and think I did something right and then lose, have disappointment later on, as opposed to right out of the gate, it's like, I couldn't even pick the first game right.
Yeah, you got to ride the dragon. Kenzie, as we always say, we accept the lows. It's always questioning how high we can get. That is the fun part.
Yes.
You guys
Chasing
don't
money.
accept the lows. You come in here cursing, like all stupid mother. Like you're not like, this is fine. You're not ever in a peaceful place with it. You bitch and you bitch and you bitch.
Well, that's part of acceptance.
Oh, okay.
That's one of those 12 stages of grief is bitching.
Yeah.
There's only one really, though. It's just bitching. And then, hopefully you feel better after that.
And then he's like, I'm never doing it. I'm wasting my money. And then, 2 seconds later, he's like, who's going to win?
And then you eat soup and cookies from Summer House and you feel much better.
Oh, man, do I.
It's so good. So Texans crushed the Chargers, obviously. Ravens beat the Steelers. Bills slammed the Broncos. Eagles barely beat the Packers, but hey, that was good in my household with my wife, of course, very happy. And the Commanders last second over the Buccaneers. And this is what it sounded like. So talk about a kicker that had to get ready and OCD. I can relate to this guy. He touched his hair 500 times. You can see the video. And then took off his shoes and socks, put him back on again, and then kicked the field goal to win the game. It sounded like this.
Last time Washington won a wild card game, won a playoff game, was 2005 here. Chance to do it with Gonzalez. From 37 to send Washington to the Final 8. The Washington Commanders are the upright, and it is in! They doink their way to the divisional round! Unbelievable!
I have seen it all now. I even get a divisional doink. I feel like every time I see a game-winning field goal, it's hitting an upright.
What a call. And the double doink for the Bears was celebrated last week. The anniversary of that was 6 years ago.
Yeesh.
I know. Not good. That doink went in. Ours didn't.
Tough 6 years when you think about it.
Jeez.
When you think about it, it's been a long 6 years.
So tonight, the Vikings are at the Rams in Phoenix because the LA Fires. The Cardinals gave their stadium to the Rams to host the home. It looks very, very wild how the Rams' home field look is on the grass right now in Phoenix. And that will decide who will play the Eagles on Sunday, this coming Sunday at 2 o'clock. Also on Sunday at 5:30 will be Ravens-Bills. What a game that's going to be. Commanders-Lions, Saturday, January 18th. And then Saturday also is Texans-Chiefs. So that will round it out. Also, Ohio State upset Texas. So it will be Notre Dame and Ohio State a week from today. So, Kenzie, you see what you get here again is you get 3 full days of football again.
What are you going to do? And it's going to be chilly. You have to order pizza.
Damn right.
Oh, no.
It's going to be wonderful.
The odds are not in your favor.
And then finally, I wanted to mention this because with Super Bowl week, I guess, 3 weeks away we're at? From about 3 weeks from Super Bowl weekend, maybe 3 or 4?
I think 3.
It's hard to say.
It's more than 3.
Okay, so 4.
1, 2, 3. It is 4.
2, 3, yeah.
Because February 9th is the Super Bowl.
Sure.
So they find some things to fill the gap in between. and with Case with his big love of the guy Jelly Roll. Well, there's now a Madden Bowl that's going to be played on that Saturday, or actually not played, but it's going to be a performance of artists, and Jelly Roll has been asked to perform. That's your guy, Case, Jelly Roll.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be really uplifting. He's going to talk about how hard his life has been in front of a bunch of people that want to party.
Well, we have to get this in the Madden Bowl, which features best Madden football players in the world competing for a $1 million prize pool. It's going to be at the Orpheum Theater in New Orleans. Of course, the Super Bowl is EA Sports. EA Sports, it's in the game, is sponsoring it, of course. But Jelly Roll will perform during the Madden Bowl.
Well, I know where I won't be. The Orpheum Theater in New Orleans, Louisiana. Good God.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren coming in, taking us to this cold January. And our takeaways from today's show, you send them in and we read them. That's how it works. 312-591-8300. Case, what do you got?
Emma checked in from Watertown, Wisconsin, shouts out her takeaway, Brian pronouncing Skibidi, hands down. And Brian,
Skibidi? 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 So
Do you have the other kind of, is it, what are you laughing? Is it Sky By Die?
Skibidi?
Is it Sky By Die? Why would that be your next guess?
Skibidi? Because you guys didn't look at me right when I said Skibidi. So I thought I must be some other definition.
Yeah.
So wait, what is it again?
Skibidi.
Skibidi. Skibidi? I'm glad that dumb word's canceled now. Good. Skibidi? All right, Kenzie, what do you got?
A takeaway from Tony. Margaret Thatcher is a mad hatcher.
And finally, takeaways. This comes from Giorgio. My takeaway from today is that I'm literally obsessed with this lit morning show. You guys are the bomb. Thank you, Giorgio. Appreciate you. Case, what's on the podcast?
This morning, Brian, with the help of CT from The Challenge, revealed the one way to find true love. If you're single and lonely out there, listen to the 6 a.m. podcast. Brian has all of the answers for you.
It's the truth. Skibidi?
If you want to find Skibidi love, listen to the 6 a.m. podcast.
Skibidi?
Also, we weighed ourselves at 7:50 this morning. We have the shocking results from week 1 of the Brian and Kenzie 2025 Weight Loss Challenge.
That just sounded funny. We weighed ourselves.
We weighed ourselves this morning. The results are shocking. If you've heard Brian talk about how much he's cheated on his diet over the last week, the results will come as a surprise to you.
Skibidi?
Can I just say we got a text and somebody said, you guys are talking about weigh-ins, and I thought you were going to have the weigh-in brothers on the show, and then I was listening to your weight. I'm sorry. It's just how fat we are.
You know, the podcast, Damon, Marlon, they're all on there.
We love them.
Well, they're great. They're hilarious. Skibidi? All right, the podcast, find it wherever you get your podcasts, of course, and the Q101 app, the newly redesigned sweet Q101 app. It's free. Download it. Skibidi?
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.